Hello and welcome back, my fellow students of the Gunnery School of Nuln. And speaking of the Gunnery School of Nuln, we are getting closer. We are, I think, only about one turn away from an upgrade here, though I should have saved more money because I think that we're going to need 8,000 gold. So it'd be good if I could scrounge together a little more money on this turn. I don't know whether I have movement points, though. I may have already made my moves. Elspeth has movement. No, she's not going to be able to attack anybody. Oh, it looks like I forgot to save my game right at the very end, too. So I bet this is probably partway through a turn or after a battle or something. Yeah, because I think this is an autosave. I think I'd already started to move towards the Blackfire Pass. We don't have... Let's see whether I got any other movement points going down here. Yeah, Emil has movement points, but I don't have any enemies within range. However, there is a mysterious island, and that might give me a little bit of cash. So let's make for the mysterious island. It is not one that we're going to be able to fight, unfortunately, but we could go ahead and get this Power of Rage so we can perform better in battle. Bloody red spot. So our army gets Frenzy for 10 turns. And I think, did we pick up a little treasure? I think we did. Mission successful. Bloody red spot. Oh, we picked up a little treasure. No, we didn't. Wow, there's no treasure. That stinks. Crap. I was hoping, well, there's another island over there. We could sail towards it. In fact, I think I will. I'm gonna go ahead and sail over there and see if we can snag this other island. It's a shipwreck. And maybe we can make a little bit of cash off of those. I was hoping we would get some there, but it was not the right type of shipwreck. Let's go back and check other armies, just see if anybody... Yep, no more movement points. I'm gonna save my money because we need to be able to upgrade Nuln. All right, folks, we're back after the turn end. I did end up with a little bit more money than I thought. We had good income. However, during the turn end, Malachi asked me to join the war against Daniel the Demon and his legions, which honestly, like, is not really a big deal. We're not really within striking distance of him. And even if we were, we could kill him regardless. So I'm really not that worried about it one way or the other. So I did join his war with Daniel and I got 1,500 gold as a result. So that was a nice result. I'm going to go back over and recheck Nuln, which we don't quite... I do think I forgot to save my game and it skipped a turn there because I'm pretty sure we were sitting right here at the end of the last episode. So I'll probably just go ahead and end another turn, hang on to my money, but go ahead and move my armies. We do have a military access agreement with Clan Angrand. Yep. Okay. Just making sure I'm going to trespass these guys. Don't want to create ill will towards the Dawi here. We need to upgrade our Empire Captain. We're going to drop that into Scarred Veteran. And let's see here. So we've got that all set up. All right. So we're moving through the pass. We'll try and take the forest. And then maybe we can help. I mean, the Bloody Hands have all this territory down here, which is not going to be great for me to take over. None of this stuff is great, honestly, but we could just continue to build our allies and see how that goes. But I think I'm going to go ahead, like I said, I think I'm going to save the money for this turn in. Volkmar's army is still relatively small. We do need to recolonize Kemperbad, which will cost us some funds, but we should have way more than 8,000 gold secured on the next turn. And then by taking Kemperbad, we can also enact this host Fastag here, which is going to give us 5% tariff increase. And then we can rebuild the settlement. And again, we'll still have plenty of gold on the next turn to make some upgrades. There are more buildings here that I want to build, but we're gonna wait and make sure that we get the right stuff. Let's go through our armies again. Emil did get the movement points. Can't quite reach that island, which is unfortunate. I'd love to pick up the extra gold there. And then that's going to be all the movement points that we have for this turn. So we're going to go ahead and end another one real quick. I will see you all on the other side of that. Okay, nothing happened during the turn end, which is probably good. We do now have the ability to upgrade Nuln to tier 4. Now, we do have to go all the way to 5 in order to get there. Now, unfortunately, that means the growth reset here. So we've got a ways to go. We could put yet another growth building in here. And we could build up these level 3 settlements, to level 3, and then that would give us an additional 10 growth at each of those, so a total of 20. And then if we put in those buildings here, I mean, we could increase our growth rate rather substantially. There is also this one that gives 20 growth and reduces the construction cost, which honestly may have been helpful on that 8,000. It would have saved us about 800 gold, so it's not like the end of the world. But I also like the tariffs, and I like stacking up our increased trade tariffs. So I guess I'll keep it the way it is for now. But this is going to leave us with a little bit of extra money. I'm trying to remember where I saw those buildings that I wanted to build on the last one. Was not here, though Aberheim could use some help. Wasn't the Griffin Wood. Auckland. Let's see here. See it when I spot it. Is it Temple? It wasn't Templehof. Solland. Stirland. Was it Stirland? There's good stuff there, though, too. I think it was here. Talabek Land. Yeah, because we had taken Kemperbad. That's right. That's what I was looking at. I want to get more furs here because that's going to drive up our income. And then we have level 2 logs or timber. I'm going to go ahead and build the growth building here and see if we can accelerate the growth in this province a little bit. If I put a couple of those in, we can build Talabek Land up a little faster. And then we have an opportunity to hit Pack Ice Bay here. I don't want to occupy these settlements. I'm really trying to just kind of soften them and allow Castalton to have an easier time of it. If he wants to hold these, he can. I'm not particularly concerned about it. I'm going to do an auto-resolve here. And I'm probably going to just sack the settlement. We picked up 491 schematics there, which is helpful because we need a bunch of those still. And by sacking it, we can pick up 4,000 gold. That's going to help us with a few more buildings. And then I'm just going to raise it to the ground here. So we're going to... Actually, we have to occupy it. I'll just do the loot and occupy, and then I'm going to tear it down. And just leave it. We're going to do this. Just going to tear it down. Or I guess I might be able to just give it to Castalton. Let's do that instead. Yeah, let's just give it to Castalton on the next turn. I'll just hand it to him. Let's see. And then we'll replenish for this turn, and so we can kind of use it as a base of operations for a single turn. That should work. We'll do that instead. Let's get Heroic Killing Blow. And then we have... Let's see here. I guess Piercing Shots. It's all the upgrades. Elspeth has made it through Blackfire Pass and is now in position to attack the Forest of Gloom. And let's just say woe to the green-skinned inhabitants of the Forest of Gloom, for doom is upon them. I was hoping there might be something fun to kill here, and there's really not, so I guess I'll just auto-resolve that one too. I could sack it, take a little bit of money. And then again, I think I'll do the loot and occupy thing here. We're getting some good weapons out of that when we do that.
Von Draken.
I'll turn around and loot and occupy, and then I'll just hand this over to someone else too, because I don't really think we need to hold the forest. So now we've generated 10,000 gold. Gold that we can pour into our own settlements for our own gain. And that is exactly what I'm going to do. So we'll go to Averland here, and I'll make some upgrades. And let's go see where else we could make a couple of quick upgrades. That is expensive for that. All these tier 2 buildings are expensive. Oh, let's get more timbers here because that'll increase our trade income. And they'll build the moot. All right, there we go. That should be good. We have not moved Volkmar. We need to recruit Volkmar's army, but we also need to figure out where we're going to put Volkmar to use. Batman and Alariel, so I guess like Batman and Batwoman here, have come on over from Ulthuan and started to spread peace and prosperity to, you know, Bretonnian Gotham here. The only thing they got less is massive Orcal. Which, I don't know, maybe we could go lead an attack on his homeland. But he's going to need an army first, and recruiting that at Nuln probably makes the most sense. So I think I'm going to just move back towards Nuln. And let's take a look at these these skill points that need to be assigned. We opened up Purple Sun, Earthing would also be good, but let's go ahead and put another point in Purple Sun. Elspeth is going to be ridiculously powerful at this point, and that is exactly like the level of power that I want, or more, to be honest. Like I think ridiculous, ludicrous, you know, however much farther we can take that, I would be quite pleased with that. There we go. That should do for skill point upgrades. We got a commandment for the Forest of Gloom. I'm not going to repair the forest because we're just going to hand it off, and the commandment really doesn't matter. It's not important. Yeah, so we're just gonna hand those off. Let's end our turn and get some more cash. We did reach the island on that turn in, and we have a chance to explore the island, which means we'll get to fight a foe in battle. I think we should go ahead and do that with Emil's army. Wait a minute, I hit explore. What? We didn't? Oh, I guess it said a chance we had to fight a foe in battle. Unfortunately, we didn't get one, so that's frustrating. Kind of a lame outcome. By the way, this army needs some artillery. They are sorely lacking in the artillery department. So we need to take care of that. Let's actually go put into port at Dietershofen, and then I kind of have a fun idea, at least what I think will be fun. I say that we put into port here, we get a little artillery, and then we head up here and help finish these guys off. And then, like, for instance, Boris, I might just send him up to the Chaos Waste and just start laying waste to Chaos, or it might be kind of a fun capture. Come capture and hold Albion. That could be pretty interesting. Let's go ahead and hand over Pack Ice Bay, because it's just not going to be real useful to us in any way, shape, or form. So let's go ahead and let's go to diplomacy, and we're gonna go to Kislev. It's gonna be down here. High Elves, Kislev, and the Great Orthodoxy. Trade the settlement. Pack Ice Bay. There you go. Merry Christmas. We can get a military alliance with them off of this. Right now we just have a defensive alliance, so let's do that, and then we can steal a bunch of their money. Perfect. Glad we could do business. Feel free to hand me large piles of cash whenever you so feel inclined. I'm going to go ahead and put to sea here because we're going to otherwise take attrition. Really? Like, I couldn't go through their port out to sea? I have an access agreement. I don't understand that. I guess since you can't move through the settlement because it's not yours, I guess I should have put to sea and then done that. But one way or the other, not a big deal. Let's make for the mysterious island, and then we'll head out here, get this remnants of battle, and then we'll head on over to Albion, which is just off to the north of there. And we'll see who is out there on the island. If the High Elves have already seized it, then won't be anything to do, but never hurts to take a peek. Now, we have a little bit of cash on hand. Let's put that cash to work here. I'm going to start recruiting units, and we can get lots of local units here into Volkmar's army. And I wanted to do something a little bit different with Volkmar's army. I think it would be fun to put a fair bit of cavalry and maybe even some amethyst units eventually, but it's going to take a long time to recruit these, and it's going to be very expensive because I have to do the Knights of the Black Rose. But we really haven't used them a lot yet, and it feels like a really fun unit. So I'd like to get several units of Knights of the Black Rose. We'll keep the steam tank. I think we keep the artillery. I might go ahead and disband these archers. Honestly, I don't really want the flagellants and stuff either, but I'm going to keep them just for now. But we'll get rid of those couple of units, and I'm going to start thinking about what else we want to put into this army. And it might be fun to kind of have like a more mobile army with Volkmar. You know, something we haven't done before. So like maybe war wagons, steam tank. Maybe we trade the Sutzens mortar, for instance, for like a war wagon mortar. We could even get a couple of those. And then like we use war wagons, we use war wagon mortars and outriders, stuff like that to deal our damage. I mean, outriders should be fairly obscene at this point. So like maybe we'll get 4 outriders, for instance. And we'll just kind of start working on his army again. Maybe just make something a little different here, because a lot of mine are just standard gun line, and we could do kind of a cavalry and shot type army, but you know, cavalry with cavalry shot. I think we will get a few Null and Ironsides into the army, but again, it'd be fun to kind of pick some unique units and put them to use here. And as we earn some schematics, we might be able to unlock some more Amethyst units and have fun with those. So let's see here. Garrison Lord not move. So Elspeth, I'm going to go ahead and exit the settlement. I did see Wurzag pop up down here. So I think I'm going to actually come out of the settlement. Wow, did it really use that much movement point just to exit the settlement? Guess so. I'm going to enter an ambush stance and try and move up closer to Wurzag. And hopefully... Actually, I thought I saw Wurzag. It wasn't him. He's Zogoff. Ugly. So let's see. Just realized he insulted me and I had to give him a childish insult back. Can't build that yet. Got the weaving house. Let's go ahead and put in another one here. Anyway, so we got our recruiting started. Growth is going pretty quickly. Waiting on our buildings. Let's go ahead and start building defenses into our territory. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade this wine resource. And let's go ahead and start upgrading to like tier 3 in some of these buildings here too. And we can go ahead and put some more growth in here. All right, so spent up our money and it is time for a turn-in. I forgot to give away our settlement over here. I'm going to hand the Forest of Gloom over to... probably just hand it over to... Oh, look at this. Look. He's trying to get in behind the dwarf lines here. I'm going to move over here. We might get really lucky and pick these guys up on the next one. Let's go ahead and set up some diplomatic talks. With, oh wait, did we get discovered? I think we did. Darn it, I thought I was moving in an ambush and I don't think I was. Yeah, darn it. Yeah, we were discovered. Shoot, yeah, I didn't get back into the ambush, so they're definitely going to run away from us. Oh well, I guess at least we dissuaded their attack. Let's talk to Belagar. He's not interested in any other kind of alliances with me, but, you know, if I hand him a settlement, he might be. So let's hand him Forest of Gloom. And now he absolutely wants a military alliance, which we will take. And then we will extort him out of the rest of his money, because that's what we do. We love to help people be parted from their money. Let's go look at Quick Deal, by the way. And there are trade agreements. Avalorn and Etienne, however, like they're finally coming around to the idea that, yes, you should probably be friends with me. So that is good news, and they are going to be powerful friends indeed. Now, Alariel doesn't really want a trade agreement with us. She's close. Let's see what it would cost us. Yeah, it's not horrible. Let's just go ahead and get the trading agreement. We extorted the money out of the dwarves and then gave it to Alariel, so it works for me. Let's just kind of take a look. Carl would join into a confederation with us. And that'd be cool because he's got the Nemesis crown. And then that would also give us, presumably, more armies to mess with as well. And then we would, I think we will have Pokemon'd everybody except for Marcus Wolfhart at that point. So let's go ahead and get Carl to join us. So the Empire in the old world, at least, is, you know, oh, I forgot about Goldface McBaltasar. He's probably cursing us in a golden tongue right now. Our income has gone down some because we took on new territory and armies. Well, let's take a look at what we got from Carl.
Master Engineer.
Got a couple of armies there, and I don't actually see Mr. Franz. He is up here at Wrecker's Point, and his army is honestly kind of pathetic. He's got 2 Amber Wizards. We got an Amethyst Wizard down here. Level 5. Empire Captain. I've already got a Captain. I mean, 2 Amber Wizards honestly might be kind of fun, though I'd rather one of them be a Jade Wizard. But the Amber Wizards are fun because they can get Griffin mounts. And that could be pretty awesome. So I think what I'm going to do is just get rid of these forces here because they're just costing me a bunch of upkeep. What is this right here? Toggle movement notifications. Didn't mean to click that. So let's get rid of all these guys. They're just costing me money, and we don't need that defense down here. Our flank is secure, and we have Volkmar down there as well. So there we go. That saves me a lot of upkeep. And then Carl's army is unacceptable. Unacceptably gun-free, that is. This is just not going to work. We're going to have to do better than this, Carl. Like, your cannons are good. I appreciate the cannons, and we're definitely keeping those. We may even keep a single unit of Reichsguard. Here, actually, no, we're going to turn that into a Knights of the Black Rose. I think Karl needs something more inspired here as well. He's going to need steam tanks as well. How are we doing? Oh, Knights of Moor. That could be pretty fun. I think that they can make other people immune to Psych. Yes, so they can make other units around them immune to Psych. 7 more turns, we can grab another steam tank. Everybody needs an Emperor's Wrath. Like, there's just no doubt. A Knights of Moor would be pretty neat, especially if we ended up fighting a lot of chaos. But Knights of the Black Rose are even cooler. But let's grab one Knights of Moor. I feel like an army for Karl can have some knights in it. You know what I mean? I feel like that's going to be fairly appropriate. In fact, like a Demigryph Knight would be a cool add on top of... Maybe we could have like a few fun knight units. Let's grab like a Demigryph Knight. Like we'll get a few different units of knights here. It's going to take a long time to recruit them, but that's okay. We have a lot of stuff that we need to recruit into Karl's army. Like I feel like some Outriders would be fun here. A land ship would be a lot of fun. So we definitely have some different units that we want to take advantage of with Karl. I may have to move him back in somewhere where it's going to be easier to recruit also. And then speaking of, let's take a look at some of our new territory and see what we want to build. So there's a wizard conclave here. That's good. Definitely good. Let's go ahead and maybe just put some growth in here. There's some recruiting facilities here. This would actually be a pretty good place to move back to recruit a few gun units. There's a Middenstag there, Karaberg. I'm just looking to see if there's anything really stupid that the AI has built. I want to trade this for the building that does the trade goods. This building isn't needed here. That's a waste of a slot. The rest of those buildings will be acceptable. This doesn't really... Well, I mean, it could belong here. And I mean, it doesn't hurt to have one of those buildings in case we want to recruit it. That building's unique, so we definitely want it. That could belong there because, again, you'd get good recruiting here. So I think that'll work. Let's tear those two down. I'll go ahead and leave that building. We're not going to be recruiting these units here, so there's really just no point in rebuilding that. So if anything... for the time being, we'll just grab a little bit of extra growth out of here. Otherwise, I think it's about all I can do for now. We have another fort, and we even have Gizero here, which this is a waste. Let's tear that down, and let's put in the furs so we can take advantage of the furs. We could hand that over to...
Welcome. How fares the Emperor in these
I could hand Gizero over to him. And that would get me another military alliance, which again just makes us like quite unstoppable at this point. We're building an order tide, the likes of which the world has no chance of stopping. So I think that that's going to put us in pretty good position. Yeah, we'll hand him. It's just a single settlement. We keep the fort, so that'll make Lewin happy because we handed him some territory. And we got a garrison not moved here. This army is the one that needs to recruit some artillery. Unfortunately, the nearest place I have to recruit artillery is all the way down at Nuln. And I just got the queue really busy. I may need to run... I may run Karl down to Altdorf. I think I'm going to. Let's... It's going to take a few turns, but let's send Karl... Did we get to keep the Nemesis crown, by the way? Because he had it. Or did he lose the Nemesis crown? I don't know. I'm going to run down here. Huh. He had the Nemesis crown. Does he still? Yeah, he still has it. Okay, there it is. Searing crown. It gives him -60 with all factions. But it gives us a lot higher with all the other Empire factions. But I don't know, we've got a really high... thing there. So, all right, we do have the Nemesis crown now. That's one way to get it. And this army, we need some artillery pieces here. I'm going to get rid of these halberds. I mean, you guys are cool, but you don't have guns. So that's going to be a deal breaker, I think. We got to have guns. So many good options. It's only 2 turns to get a hold of cannons, and that would probably be the most appropriate here. The volley guns would be hilarious too, because these guys can run now. That'd be pretty funny. We've already got other global units being recruited though too, so let's go ahead and maybe start off with a single unit of cannons, and then we'll just grab another one here, and we'll see what to do with the rest of that. So our global recruitment queue is quite full at the moment. Ulrika picked up a skill point, by the way. Let's go take care of hers. We'll get arcane conduits. No one else. Building upgrades. I don't have a ton of money, but we do have some money. Let's, again, just kind of slowly, steadily start building up all of our infrastructure across our different provinces. Commandments. Probably got another one over here. Yeah, Misty Hills. What does this do, by the way? Oh, in this province, they get a quicker global recruitment. That's it. The Black Pit and Wrecker's Point. Interesting. We should actually... We should move over. This is Wrecker's Point. Where does it begin? Diederschaffen. Right here.
Onwards.
We could start our recruitment on the next turn. I can't quite get into that other province. Yeah, we're still at Diederschaffen. I'm going to go ahead and just move across here. And then we'll start doing some global recruiting from here on the next turn. Global recruitment duration -2 turns. Global recruitment duration -2 turns. Local recruitment duration, okay. Global recruitment duration -1 turn. Okay, yeah, so it's still a benefit. Just making sure I'm seeing that right. Carl's headed back down. Building upgrades. I'm not worried about the building upgrade. Well, I'll go ahead and build something here. Let's put in some extra growth. We're going to skip those. Another commandment, and I'm assuming that one's Altdorf. Our income is going through the roof, by the way, which is great. Lots of commandments available here. So I noticed we hadn't had any battles, and sure enough, here comes Mr. the Paunch marching up to our fort. Our fort, I think, is level 3, so unfortunately we won't have like cannonball towers and stuff like that. But we do have a substantial number of halberds. We even have a handgunner unit, 2 handgunner units. Those 2 handgunner units can do substantial damage in the right position. We even have a mortar too, which again could do potentially some pretty nice damage given the time to fire. So I have an idea. These swordsmen will be a little more throwaway. We might use them to garrison some towers and try and cause some extra damage. Same thing, like maybe even put a few crossbows up at the gates. Try and cause some initial damage. Hold our more elite forces in the back with the mortar and the guns, and then run back for a defense of the fort and see whether we can do it. If our guns can get a line of sight on Grom, which is actually kind of hard sometimes, they could do some pretty substantial damage to him. The problem is he just heals really quickly. Let's see what we can do to stop this. We're going to start the battle here. They're starting to use their magic. That makes sense. They're going to use it immediately. I wanted to man the towers. Unfortunately for me, the towers are still just arrow towers. But actually, no, that looked like a little bit of cannon fire there to me. That may be cannon towers. I don't know. I just wanted to do whatever little damage I could from the towers, because it may not be little in the end. It might end up being fairly substantial. Grom just took a nasty shot from some stuff there too. And then what I'm going to do, as soon as they hit the walls, I'm going to start falling back to the Alamo here, and I've got some guns set up to aim at this ramp. So as the greenskins come in, I'm hoping we can cause some rather extreme damage. Those mortars aren't going to do a whole lot of good here, but I mean, our crossbows have done some pretty important damage. Enemies are about to start. Yep, they're climbing the walls, so this unit needs to go ahead and retreat. Get back to the Alamo. Get back to the Alamo. All right, there we go. And our, oh crap, our crossbows got hit. I don't know what that was. Maybe it was some magic or something. I don't know. Oh, we might have gotten hit by a mortar, like a friendly mortar round or something like that too. I don't know. That stinks. I didn't want my crossbows to take that kind of damage, because if they lose units, they lose their ammo, which is really rather unfortunate. But there we go. So we're headed down. Enemy troops are already up on top of the walls. That was a really quick ladder climb there. I guess, rather impressed. Grum has been really putting his men through the ladder workouts, and these guys, instead of actually coming down off the walls, decided to run along the walls like idiots, and are now being attacked as well. But that's why we use the swordsmen over here, because they were certainly the least important of my melee units, because they won't do a whole lot against the forces of Grum. That gate is not coming down anytime super quick, and we're able to now flee away from their forces on the wall and collect ourselves for this attack. I think we're going to want our mortar. I'm going to open fire on these Night Goblin archers, and then we've got enough for our first tower. I kind of want to put the towers here where they're going to be firing at like near point blank range into the fights that are going to occur there. So let's try that. We'll save for another tower. Hopefully our mortar can score a few hits. What's that stupid Spirit Leech? Spirit Leech is doing way more damage than I would have expected towards my units like that. Killed a couple of trolls in these units. That's good. Unfortunately, they're going to heal some. Grom took some damage too. He'll heal it off as well, but at least we will have put some damage towards his healing cap. All right, all of our troops are retreating, and we're going to make it back into position rather nicely here. There's a lot of black orcs here, a concerning number of black orcs. We are going to need... we're going to need our towers to do some potential good damage here. We can't see those night goblin archers anymore. I'm going to go ahead and open fire on the black orcs. It's a target that needs to be softened rather substantially. Fortunately, the mortar has a really nice arc of fire. Handguns have a lot of ammunition as well, but again, remember, our most important target here is Grum. Were it not for the number of black orcs too, I might have some confidence that we were going to win here, but like, I don't know that I'm going to be able to kill all of the major threats. Well, we just landed some hits there on those guys, and it just did not do any substantial amount of damage. It might be the armor. I don't think the mortars are particularly good AP weapons. I think what I'm going to do is get the crossbows. Like, I'm going to try and set up a crossfire with some of the crossbows. Crossfire. All right, and then I'm going to set up just kind of like a target like that. So I'll set up, all right, so our handgunners are opening fire, and they're getting some damage in on the black orcs, and I'm going to allow that for sure. We have got to soften the black orcs, and a couple of them aren't even going to walk past my handguns, which means that I'm really not going to get an opportunity to soften them up. So we definitely need to take the opportunity against these ones. They are capturing the gate. Oh, they got goblin archers right there. Shoot. And they can't hit the goblin archers. Just freaking fantastic. What a load of crap. I guess they can't target the goblin archers, but the goblin archers can hit them right here. This is absolutely frustrating. If I move back, the goblin archers are going to kill my... Now my guys won't fire at all. Freaking crap. What the heck? This stinks. This is going to cost me bad. All right, my guys are firing again at least. I'm just going to have to leave them here and let them do whatever damage they can do. We just don't really have a choice at the moment. I'm going to keep firing mortars into here. My guns are firing, and there's a lot of targets down there, so their shots ought to be very valuable. The problem is there's so many targets, and we cannot possibly hope to cause enough damage to stop them all. Let's get these swordsmen lined up as the second line of defense. I need to send these great swords wherever we end up against the most blorks. All right, guns, just do everything you can do. Do everything you can do, please, please, please. I really need to get shots off on Grom and the giants. This giant, unfortunately, is going a different direction, so that is not what I would like to see at the moment. I think I'm going to target these Night Goblin archers. They are going to cause annoying damage. My guys are not shooting at the Night Goblin archers. They're shooting at basically other targets, and when I click fire on them, crap, now there's another Night Goblin archer over here shooting at me. This is really, really a bad situation. Okay, I see where the blorks are at too. We have got to stop them. I'm going to try and wear them down with overwhelming force. Their archers gave up for a moment. It looks like my guns finally started shooting their archers. Unfortunately, I really need them to shoot that giant. Don't move. Just shoot it. It's huge. Okay, got good hits on the giant. He's gonna walk outside of range. Okay, we got rid of those gobbo archers. What was that next unit that popped up underneath them? Goblins. Okay, we're getting some good damage done. We've got enough to throw another magic tower up here. All right, here comes Grom. At this point, as much as I love inflicting damage to this giant river troll hag, and I am going to do it for a second, we've got to focus on stopping Grom. I don't want to clump too many men up in here all at the same time. We are going to have to kind of hope for some... Yeah, stupid archers. Okay, all right, there's no more real viable targets over here. We're gonna need to bring these guys over behind this fight to be able to get at those giants. Of course, the place where I built the tower is not the side that they came to start with. Let's see if we can target this giant. He's a huge target, should be rather easy to hit. We've gotta commit more troops into this fight because we're getting overwhelmed over here. I may even need these cavalrymen. Oh my gosh, they're crushing us with a wind spell over there, so that's just great. Grom's about to just break through. We've got there's a chain route going on now. Fantastic. Did that get my great swords? No, but there's a chain route underway. I've got to bring the knights in here. This is not going according to any sort of plan whatsoever. See if we can cut the giant down. I'm under fire from those archers still. I need to take a risk and fire a mortar shell. Actually, I could fire at those archers maybe? If we could defeat some of these units over here, boy, that would be a great go get. But there's still a lot more troops behind them, and we have committed literally everything we have to this fight. I'm about to lose a handgunner. I've taken down the first giant, but there's a second one, and there's Grom. So that giant by itself could probably cut through most of our troops here, and then Grom certainly can as well. And now we got another goblin archer killing off our mortar. We're not gonna win, but we should be able to cause rather significant injuries to our foes here, if nothing else, and that is going to be the thing here, which is nothing else, because when we will not. All of our troops over here routed, including our greatsword. They just got clobbered by Grom and the giants. So unfortunately, not a battle we're going to win. I had an idea here that I thought would work. There's just too many targets, too many bulwarks, 2 giants, and a Grom. If we only had to focus on, like 1 or 2 of those targets, probably doable. But Grom is an unstoppable force when it comes to killing infantry, and you've got to have a good answer to him, and we just did not. So there's a few things that frustrate me with defense battles, and I've talked with you all about those to some extent. And one of the things that frustrates me is this is a fort. We get a huge garrison. That's nice. I think that's the way it should be. We get a map that is semi-defensible. There are way, way too many paths to the victory point. Way too many. There should be one path to the victory point. And then the victory point, so you remember on Shogun 2, how you would put your men on the walls and they had cover from enemy fire and they would fire from up on the walls. That should also be in this game. So like right there, when my handgunners were in a position taking fire, just out in the open, taking fire to goblin archers. And even though you're the defender and you should have all those advantages, you don't, because the map design is poor. So that would be one thing they could add into the maps that would make a big difference, is cover positions for your archers to fire from safely and to create murder holes. That's how these type of battles would have worked in real life or in this fanciful life. Fortunately for me, Grom is as dumb as he is big, and he didn't take the fort, which means that I'll be able to transfer troops over there and hold him off. It won't take much for us to have in that fort to be able to hold Grom back. I'm going to go ahead and finish the recruitment of these Knights of the Black Rose. We have friendlies nearby Helmgart, so... Or, sorry, which fort was that? Was that Helmgart? So, someone want to explain to me real quick how Grom stepped past the Fey Enchantress, right past one of Batman's henchmen.
I have seen your heart.
And then how did he get here and attack this fort? I mean, he's not exactly a small character, you know. What's the Undercity we have here? Where did this giant Skaven Undercity? It's huge. Carl, dude, what are you thinking, man? Get an exterminator. Get rid of the rats. All right, so we got rid of the rats. Anyway, yeah, they need to improve the siege battles, and I do a lot of complaining about it, and rightfully so. But there you go. That's the suggestion. That's how you can improve them. One way, one small thing, cut down the number of entrances to the victory point. There should be one entrance into a victory point, one. And that entrance should be surrounded by covered positions where you can make use of your ranged units. It's very simple, very simple. And so those would be a couple of quick, easy steps to take that wouldn't take a whole lot of research or programming or anything else of the sort. So let's see here. What do I want to do in this building? We have an artillery building. We got an engineer's workshop. We got the cavalry. We've got those, and we'll be able to build this one once we get to level 5. We got our trade goods. What else would I want to put here? I mean, this is kind of cool, but I don't think it really unlocks anything particularly key for us. I mean, we could get a little bit of extra income. We could build this, which would give us extra campaign movement range and better global and local recruitment. And that might not be a bad idea because we might recruit armies from here in the future. But let's go ahead and put some money into the Reichland here. Let's see, Grunberg. I don't think we really need a fort at Grunberg in any sort of hurry. I put the growth building in here because we need it for now, but I may not keep that. Let's maybe... I don't think we need to do anything in the Reichland right now, honestly. Let's take a look at some of the other areas that could probably use the money a little bit more. Like this one we want to build so we can take advantage of those timbers. In fact, we should tear that down and put timbers instead. Let's increase our fur output, increase our timber output. And we can increase the timber output here as well. All right, so we got timbers going.
Elspeth Von Draken.
No doubt the greenskins turned tail and ran. Indeed they did. They went running straight for the nearest dwarf settlement that they think is unguarded. What they don't know, I can't enter into an ambush stance because we're within range of the dwarves there. So now I can. I'm going to move up behind them and try and sneak in and attack them, though. I am going to be out of time for this episode, unfortunately. With Boris, Boris's army is capable enough. I think we're just going to take Boris and we're going to continue beelining for Albion. If I move to here, we won't take open attrition there in the sea. Yeah, we'll go hit Albion and take care of that on the next episode. Then we got a hero. I don't need this hero, so let's go ahead and disband him. Just extra upkeep costs we don't need to pay right now. And when we finish recruiting this, I was going to go reinforce Helmgart, but there's no need. I have no idea how Grom got to me in the first place. So probably won't be required to defend that again. Go ahead and build a little building there, put some extra money in. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed it. Heir of Carthage signing out for now. I will see you all next time with some more action from the Elspeth campaign.